We have a change of scenery. Today we're in Dallas, Texas, and I'm going to review my friend's ZX6R. Thank you, Shadow Z, for letting me borrow it for a few hours. We're gonna have to put the plate back on there. Shadow is definitely not a hooligan. But this is a 2025 ZX6R, and this is going to be a first ride review, and I can already tell I love the narrow tank. That's one thing that Kawasaki does very right. A super narrow tank where the pegs aren't in the way. Beautiful. I did move this bike around a little bit earlier, and it feels lighter. I'll put up on screen what the weight of this bike is for you guys. What Shadow has done to this bike, not too much. He has a different exhaust on it, just some frame sliders. The very useful mirrors. I don't know if the steering stabilizer is actually stock or not. He might have put this on. I know the Showa forks are stock. I want to critique the styling of this bike a little bit. I have mixed thoughts about it because it's giving H2 inspired vibes, the clean angles in the corners, but something about this front end just feels off to me, and I can't put my hands on it. Something looks like it doesn't fully belong. I think it might be the shape of the headlight that's throwing me off, but I think Kawasaki traditionally always goes bigger with their headlights, except on the H2, and I've never been a fan of that look. I say that as like I have a single headlight projector bulb on the MT-07, but that's a naked, but it is a sexy bike nonetheless. Really not much has changed from the 2024 version up to the 2025 version. Kawasaki had to do something around the emissions, whatever this cylinder thing is called, to be emission compliant. It's bigger on the 2025. Helping me film today is the X5, and then I've got the Ace Pro 2 hanging out on the helmet, the usual setup, and I've got the Mic Air. I know you've seen me vlog with these cameras before, so if you're interested in actually buying one of them, the link is in the description, and there's also this code on screen that you can use, and it'll get you a free accessory if you do decide to buy one. Let me give you a good look at it from the side in the full daylight. All right, let's get on and let's see how tall it is. Not gonna be flat-footing, that's for sure. Yeah, honestly, it's not too bad. Not flat-footing, but I'm not tiptoeing like crazy either. All right, let's hear that exhaust for the first time. I know there's different modes on this thing, I just don't know how to... Kawasaki, where did you put the mode selection, girl? Am I dumb? Alright, let's call our friend. Where the heck is the mode button?
6.5 hours later.
Wait, hold down for a second? Just the down arrow. Oh, was that it? Holding down?
So then you go up
to switch back. Okay, we'll leave it in road mode for now, and then I'm just gonna ride through this neighborhood first to get like my bearings. Oh yeah, I forgot to say the ASV levers are obviously not stock. I think they were installed like 2 days ago. So that's the other non-stock thing on this bike. Okay, the first thing that jumps out to me, and I'm not surprised because Kawasaki does this well, is that the seat is comfortable. This seat feels pretty solid. Kawasaki does this thing where they make the tank so narrow and nice, and the foot peg is out of the way. Like, my foot fits perfectly between the foot peg and the shifter, and it lets me get so close to the tank that even though I'm short, I'm 5'4", on this thing, because I don't have to straddle it as wide, I can get nearly like 80-90% of my foot down. Look how close I can get my foot to the tank. Like it's basically almost all on the ground, and it's like right between where I put it. It's right between the peg and the shifter. I can get super close in there. Not that I would recommend this bike as a beginner, but I know it's important as a beginner to have like the confidence to be able to touch the ground on both sides. No, it's not exactly in the same range, but when I was riding the Triumph Daytona 660, I was getting the same feeling from it, that it was well designed. Tank was narrow. You could get your feet close to the tank and touch more of the ground. So, and actually, now that we're at a stop here, I'm not tippy-toeing to the point where I like can't comfortably control the bike. I don't know if you guys can see that, how much my foot is on the ground. And it's not really something I ever hear people talking about, because a lot of people that review bikes are already like tall dudes. They don't care, like that's not something that comes up for them, but for me, a short rider, being able to like wedge my foot in closer to the tank, priceless. All I'm saying is that I think it's a nice touch that they actually thought about where the foot peg was gonna go. I'll put the seat height on screen for you guys. I gotta say though, it does sound fantastic. And it's surprisingly smooth when you accelerate. Oh my god, the acceleration's so nice because it's smooth. Woo! What a beautiful day to be riding. It is hot in Texas, but I like it. Now, I don't know if I like it more than the MT-07's twin cylinder, but I know a lot of people would disagree with me. That's okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, even though they may be wrong. That's just me though. I like loud, growly bikes. I don't like screamers. Screamers are not for me. Although it is giving me like flashbacks to when I was at MotoGP at Coda, and I was up in the tower when Moto2 race was starting and they were doing like their warm-up lap or the first lap or whatever. The insane howl you could hear from up there, like it gave me goosebumps. I miss the sport bikes because the power band is so different than on the MT-07, and I don't feel like I ever want to go fast with the MT-07 because I have so much fun. Like all the fun is down low, but with this, you twist the throttle and it feels smoother than it should be. Let's test the suspension over some bumpy bumps. The suspension is surprisingly well done, as in it feels like I'm sitting within the suspension. Like, yeah, like when I bump into it, I don't feel like I'm sitting on top of the suspension. A lot of bikes, like factory tuned for a rider that's way heavier than me. I'm 120 pounds currently with gear, I don't know, maybe 130. My friend Shadow is not that at all. So I'm surprised. I don't know if he actually messed with the stock suspension. Like oh my dude, that was that was a huge like metal plate that I just went over, and that felt so smooth. Let me test the suspension out again. Dude, that is beautiful. It felt pretty planted. Let's try it again. Yep. Like, it doesn't make my brain rattle going over that, which is the whole point. Also, I would give a big shout out to Insta360 if they kept this footage, like, stabilized somewhat, because this camera, the X5 right now, because we don't have a really good place to put it, it is bouncing around right now on the windscreen, like, but they have pretty good flow state stabilization, so fingers crossed that it actually looks decent, even though it's a little bit bumpy, and by a little I mean a lot. In terms of, is this bike a track beast? Ready for the track? Yeah, absolutely. I just went over that pothole. That would have rattled my brain on the MT-07, and I didn't even feel it going over this. Like, that was great. Let's try it. Yep, this is great. Suspension, I'm gonna give this like a 9.5 out of 10. That was a big pothole. That still felt great. Yeah, okay, 10 out of 10 for the suspension. I've decided. Great suspension on this, and I'm not surprised because, yes, this is a fully track setup bike. You do have fully customizable suspension on this, so if you want to race it, take it to the track, like, you are pretty much ready to go. He did tell me he added the steering stabilizer, but other than that, it's stock. I don't know if there's a specific package that you can get more upgrades to make it more track ready, but other than that, it feels like pretty good. In the light of the R6 void that Yamaha has left, Kawasaki is pretty much poised to kind of take over the track market with this thing. I mean, and they have even with the ZX4R. So if you've been paying attention, you probably have gotten annoyed at me from the fact that I'm using the clutch when this bike has a bi-directional quick shifter. Okay, that's just force of habit. I don't have a quick shifter, so I'm not used to using it. You do have modes on the ZX6R. You got road mode, and to switch you select the down arrow. One other thing that I wanted to contrast this, and I know it's not exactly the same class category, but I want to compare this briefly to the Triumph Daytona 660 in terms of shifting between modes. So right now I'm in road. You can press up and it'll go into sport mode. You can see there on the dash. You have to hold it for like 3 seconds. With the 660, in order to, I guess, like lock in a mode to actually switch between them, you had to let go of the throttle and then get back on it. Otherwise, you were still stuck in the same mode that you were previously in. That doesn't seem to be the case here, which is nice because that's like one less step that you have to do. And in terms of the other modes that you do have on here, like I'm back in road, but there's also a rain mode and there's also a rider mode, which you can customize, like if you're going to do a specific track setup or whatever. I'm going to leave it in road mode because that just makes the most sense for the type of riding I'm about to do. Setting aside the fact that we had to watch a YouTube video to both of us figure out how to shift between the modes, it is nice that you actually do get 4 and one of them is fully customizable. I gotta mention, so I have some owner's insight because my friend told me that one of the things he doesn't like about the bike is that he constantly has to shift back on the seat. He is, I don't know how tall he is, like 6 something. He says he's constantly like having to shift back on the seat, and when you do that, your legs aren't gripping the tank where they should be, or his legs aren't gripping the tank where they should be, so he's like constantly sliding forward. I can kind of see that, and he does have grips here. I don't know, they don't feel very grippy, I'll be honest. I agree with him. I do feel like I'm sliding forward constantly. Probably not as annoying of an issue if you're a girl, but maybe if you're a guy, that is kind of annoying. One of the other things that Troy from motorcycle.com was mentioning when he was reviewing the 2024 version of this bike was that although it looks like from the side you have a lot of space on this thing, he said it feels cramped, and I think he's also a tall guy, so maybe that's something to keep in mind if you're a tall rider. For me personally, I feel like I'm gripping the tank exactly where I should be. So even though like I am sliding forward, if I'm sliding forward, it's because I'm not gripping the tank as hard as I should be. Like, riding a motorcycle is an active sport, so you do want to be like, you know, engaging your abs so you're not putting all your weight on your handlebars. For me at 5'4", I feel like I fit pretty well on this bike. I don't feel too cramped, too squished, too whatever. Pretty perfect fit. I think Howie did pretty good there, at least if you're a short rider like me. I'm happy with that. These mirrors, they look cool. Practicality, zero whatsoever. So we're gonna be doing a lot of head checks. All right, let's see how easy it is to get into neutral. Kawasaki's notorious for having like a helpful neutral finder. Wow, that was so easy. That was like first try. I'm jealous. Let me try that again. Go to first. Wow, oh my god, dude, that was okay. I'm way too excited about this, like way more excited about finding neutral than I should be. If you're interested in getting my motovlogging setup, the X5 or the Ace Pro 2, all the links will be in the description along with a code. Insta360 does have some sales going on right now that I'll put up on screen, so you can check those out as well and get yourself a nice discount. Thanks again, Insta360, for sponsoring my channel. Thanks for watching the ZX6R review, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.